Welcome to Community Foundation Spotlight. I'm Spicer Bell, I'm the president of the Community Foundation of the Eastern Shore. And through this series of programs, we shine that spotlight on organizations and individuals that are making a real difference in our community. Today we're shining the spotlight on Lower Shore Enterprises. And I have as my guest Jack Heath with Lower Shore Enterprises. Jack, welcome.
Thank you, Spicer.
Glad to have you. Now, you're executive director?
Executive director.
Executive director. Yeah. I'm never sure whether I'm getting these titles
CEO,
straight
executive director.
Yeah. In other words, if something goes wrong, they look to you.
Exactly.
You're
Exactly.
the
Whenever
top,
there's an issue.
the top guy. So, Lower Shore Enterprises has quite a long history here in the community. For some, but I sometimes I think folks aren't familiar that don't know that you're here. What is Lower Shore Enterprises?
Well, Lower Shore Enterprises had its beginnings in 1967. Actually, then it was known as Lower Shore Sheltered Workshop. Mm-hmm. And Jack Nichols, who was an educator in the school system, saw a tremendous need for training of individuals with disabilities to prepare them for their future life. Mm-hmm. And he founded it in '67. It was actually founded in the old Manhattan Shirt Company building, which is currently used, I believe, by the Country House.
Okay.
Then moved several years later down to Snow Hill Road. Mm-hmm. And now, in 1987, the newer building was built on Owens Branch Road, and that's where we are right now.
Mm-hmm. Right across the road from the Maryland Food Bank?
Directly across from our neighbors.
All the way to the landfill?
Yeah, we all the way to the landfill, if you go that far. But hopefully you can turn.
But great. Now, used to be called a sheltered workshop. And
right.
Don't use that term anymore.
Right.
What really do you do there? What is your mission?
Well, our mission is to afford employment opportunities to individuals with disabilities. That's the major mission of Lower Shore Enterprises.
How do you go about doing that?
Well,
sounds easier said than done.
Yeah, it is. It is. We actually have two different ways that we accomplish our mission. The first is through the traditional Lower Shore Enterprises, where we train individuals with disabilities to do jobs, and we actually have customers, a customer base of about 113 customers that we provide mailing services to, custodial services to, sub-assemblies where we take parts that are very monotonous and we put them together. Mm-hmm. And allow other companies to use our talents and those tasks that they're not suited for. Mm-hmm. And that is our main function in that building. The other segment that we deal with is the Career Development Center, which is relatively new, been around for several years though. And the Career Development Center is funded by the Department of Rehabilitative Services under the State Department of Education. And what they do in that facility is they evaluate referrals from doors. They actually see what the individuals need in terms of development, whether it be resume writing, life skills, financial, how to balance a checkbook, et cetera. And then they actually go out and we place them in jobs. And we follow through with them, with the employer, during their early stages of their career until the employer decides we can employ them ourselves, and then we proceed with another referral. Mm-hmm.
Now, you mentioned individuals with disabilities.
Right.
They're folks with physical disabilities?
We run the whole gamut. We have 138 individuals on the Lower Shore Enterprise side, and it ranges from cerebral palsy, traumatic brain. I mean, there are speech, deaf, mm-hmm. blind. So we run the entire gamut, and it is amazing to see the capabilities. When we refer to disabilities, we put the first three letters in small letters,
and then
the
abilities. Yeah.
And that's very important because we believe in that. And the goal really is to take all the individuals that we have, and through the training and through the development and through the jobs that we pay them for, which separates us, by the way, from a lot of other organizations. We pay them wages. Mm-hmm. We don't do piecework. They actually get wages based on their capabilities. and they get a check every Friday. But our goal is to develop them so that they can go out and get jobs in the community and be active members of society and then find their greatest potential.
And unfortunately, many of your clients, I think, if you went back decades ago, would have been confined to their home, maybe
Absolutely.
in some type of an institution or what have you.
Absolutely.
But they're able to live a much more fulfilling life now.
Absolutely. Well, the original Lower Shore Shelter Workshop, there were 35 individuals, and they had a budget of $40,000 a year. And their first job, or their first customer, was actually Pepsi-Cola, and they made pallets.
Okay.
And that's how the whole thing started.
Really?
Yeah.
So, and you do a variety of things now, certainly.
Yeah, you name it, we do it. We are tending now to try to find those jobs, though, that allow us to introduce on a increased basis as we go the employees to the community. With the ultimate, as I said before, the ultimate goal is to get them out and on their own.
Well, let's jump around a little bit here. You certainly have recently launched one of those efforts, and that is your shredding service. Tell our viewers about that. They'll sooner or later they're going to see that big truck around the community.
I think a lot of them have seen it already. Yeah, we had our ribbon cutting for the document destruction business. About a year and a half ago, when I joined the organization, I saw a significant need for the stabilization of the financial position of the organization, and I considered it one of my priorities to find an anchor business that we could use and our clients could utilize to secure the financial stability on an ongoing basis, because we are partially funded by the state, and given the economy, it's been very difficult for us to maintain our services.
Yeah. How did you choose document destruction?
I spent a lot of hours on the internet looking at franchises, but the thing that I looked at was, and the criteria that I used was pretty simple. One, try to find a business that we wouldn't be in direct competition with a major player in our local area. We didn't think that was a smart or a prudent thing to do. Secondly, and probably most importantly, is a business that our employees can really grasp, expose them to the kinds of jobs and social interaction that they need to reach our mission. And the third one that there is a need. So when we looked at it, the largest market competition that we've got is out of Baltimore. So I think we should have a little bit of a competitive advantage, and we don't have any real
We can have a
solid-
good Eastern Shore business that competes with somebody from Baltimore. There's nothing wrong with
Absolutely,
that.
nothing wrong with that. And there is a tremendous need with the HIPAA laws and the concerns about privacy and document protection. We thought that was a very good choice, and certainly it's proven to be that. We are NAID certified. NAID is National Association for Information Destruction. It is essentially, it's like the ISO of the document destruction area. And most of the banks and health facilities require that kind of certification. All the employees are bonded. We have a brand new state-of-the-art truck, which you've seen over at the ribbon cutting.
And I think our friends from Pac14 are going to probably show the photo in here somewhere of the truck and the ribbon cutting.
Yeah, you'll see from the photograph, the employees have really grasped this whole concept, and they are thrilled with the ability to actually when we did the tours, we had a whole thing set up where the staff was going to give them tours and everything. Well, we didn't have to worry about it because the clients took over and just showed everybody around, and they really are our best sales tool.
They are. Oh, you know, I kind of you're taking me off in a sidetrack. Do you have much attendance issues with your clients?
It's amazing. I've told this story before, and it sort of shocks me because I've come out of the private sector where I spent most of my career, And the first day, the first week that I was there, we have a thing called Hot Dog Day, which pretty much everybody knows about, where the Fruitland Lions come in and make hot dogs for everybody, and we have our awards, our monthly awards. And it was my first time, and they were leading me through the presentations, and they said, well, look, the first thing we'll do is we'll do attendance awards, then we'll do the Employee of the Month, and then we'll do special awards. And I said, fine, okay, no problem. Well, they began to do the awards, the attendance awards, and they kept reading the names and reading the names and reading the names. And we only have in-house 101 employees, and I think we had 89 or 90 perfect attendance. And that's the way it's been since I've been here.
Yeah.
They're the most reliable, dependable, happiest group of people I've ever seen in my life, and it's a joy. It's an absolute joy.
If you look at that photo of your clients out there with the document destruction, even if they're not involved in that part of the business, they're great pride and excitement they have.
Absolutely.
In what happens at Lower Shore. I mean, if you could bottle it and sell it to other employers, you would be. You'd
Yeah,
make
the
a fortune.
enthusiasm factor. We call it the enthusiasm factor,
Yeah.
and it is mind-boggling. They now have a vehicle that travels throughout the community with their name on it, and that's them. You know, they're the first ones to point out to everybody when the truck goes by.
Yeah, it's neat. It really is, Jack. Describe some of your other business services.
Well, we do a variety of things. We talked about mailing. The mailings we do are for resorts, hotels, doctors' offices, politicians, a number of things. We are excellent at doing repetitive tasks that are very labor intensive. And that is a really strength of ours. Things that people would consider to be monotonous are, number one, a challenge for our people, but also something that they love to do. And that is a big piece of it. The custodial services has grown, again, towards our mission.
Now, that's where you're taking the clients.
We're taking the clients out, and we
to do that
are,
work.
you're right, and that business in the last year has quadrupled.
Great.
We have crews with supervision that go out to businesses in the area, and actually we go as far as Berlin, Snow Hill, and we also have a lot in Salisbury, but that is probably the fastest growing segment of our business right now, which is good because the economy has hit us pretty hard. We've had very loyal customers who have come to us and said, listen, with this economy, we've had to make some tough decisions. And some of the decisions we have to make are, should we outsource to us to do some of the jobs, and then we'd have to lay off some of our people, or do we bring it back in-house during the poor economic time?
Sure.
And I understand that totally. That's why things like document destruction and the custodial businesses, to offset those in-house projects, is so vital and important to us.
And they're those projects. There's the type of work that somebody can't send offshore.
Oh yes. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they
Right.
can't do it by remote computer or something like that.
Right.
It's a service that's got to be performed here.
Yeah. Well, if you look at the individual packs, whenever you buy something and it needs assembly, you get a little plastic bag with the parts in it.
Yeah.
That is perfect for us because they're not the same part. They're a bunch of different parts, and there's a certain number. And our clients are very good at making sure that everything's right. The label is on perfect, and it's packaged.
So great. Jack, your background is kind of unique, and I was with you recently, and you described that you got the best job you ever had.
Yes.
Now you spent most of your career in manufacturing and business.
The majority of my career, I spent a few years teaching early on and loved it. but had to back in the 60s and 70s, you didn't make much money teaching and couldn't really support a family.
You had to
with
remind
3
me of
kids.
that, didn't
Well,
you?
I thought I'd throw that in. But I eventually got into manufacturing. I'm a chemical engineer by degree, and I've been in business and I've held positions from supervisor, technical manager, quality control manager, COO, CEO, and I just finished up my my business career about 1.5 years ago, and it was very rewarding, but very, very challenging. Learned a lot. People always teach you. You learn more, I think, from actually getting involved in the business side of it than you do from the school side of it, for sure. But I retired, and my wife and I both decided that that was not the thing for me. She told me to get out of her kitchen, and I really wanted to do something. But I wanted to do something on my terms for a change. And I called a couple of good friends that I have down here from the past, and this opportunity came up. And I came down, interviewed for the job, took a tour, loved it. And I've been there 1.5 years, and it is truly the love of my life, other than my wife. It is. I can't describe to people what it's like when, for 40 years, you needed the alarm clock to get up in the morning, and you thought about all the issues and problems you have when you get to work. And now I don't use an alarm clock. I'm up at 5:30. I can't wait to get to work. I can't wait to see what our clients can do every day. And it's remarkable, and it's a fantastic job.
It's because you've got 100 and some people who can't wait to get in there too.
You know what? They get off the bus, and you sit and you watch them walk in the front door, and a good portion of them stop by the office. And good morning, Jack. Good morning, Mr. John, Mr. Jack, whatever they call me, and some of them I'm not sure what they call me. But, it's really a unique opportunity for me.
Great. How can our viewers support your work?
A couple of ways. The main way, obviously, is if you need document destruction, for instance, consider us. Our competition is good. There's no question about it. But we do have the opportunity to also deal with somebody locally and also help a bunch of tremendous people. And I think that that's one of the things. And if you don't use document destruction, whenever you're in a meeting and you come up with an idea and you have a job that you need to get done, we can do just about anything. Give us a chance. Give us a call and see if we've done it before. If we haven't done it before, we'll evaluate it and let you know if we can do it. But the main thing that we can do is you can spread the word about Lower Shore Enterprises. I think we're the best, as you said and alluded to in the beginning, I think we're the best kept secret pretty much on the Eastern Shore. Although it's changing with the truck, the document destruction truck, and hopefully we can grow that business as well. But word of mouth and positive attitude is probably something we could use.
If someone has a family member who has some disabilities and what have you, how do they get in touch with you to be considered for part of your program?
Well, if it's coming through the school system, there's a transitioning youth. There's a whole system that is set up to affect that transition.
And your people often go out and do those evaluations as a part of that system, correct?
Yes, yeah. The Lower Shore Enterprises falls under the Developmental Disabilities Administration, which is under the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. So there are referrals that come through us, to us, through them. And doors, as I said, for the CDC are the short-term thing where they would come out of school, get referred to us, we would evaluate, train, and place. In CDC last year, we talked about the 138 inside, but the CDC last year did over 400 individualized programs.
Really? So,
which is quite an accomplishment.
And certainly some of those folks come into your Lower Shore Enterprises program, but some of them go to other placements in the community.
Directly into business, yeah.
So, and one of your goals, as I understand it, is for as many of your clients as possible to get them into regular placements in the business community.
Absolutely. Employment first is the rule in Maryland, and that's what we strive for. The rate at which that happens and the ability of the individuals to meet that goal varies dramatically with the disability. But that is always our mission. That's our
Any
goal.
real success stories out there that you can point to?
Well, we've got individuals at Pepsi-Cola who've been there for 25 years. That came through Lower Shore. We have people placed at K&L Microwave that have been there for years and years and years. There are a lot of people. Through the years, at the award ceremony last year, for instance, I was shocked. I didn't know that Salisbury University has hired over 40 of our individuals in the dining services area over the years. Those kinds of things, just knowing the fact that you've had the impact on those people makes a significant difference.
Yeah. Tremendous opportunity to really change lives and what have you.
You see it every day.
Yeah. Now you mentioned to your relationship to the doors and what have you, but you really are an independent, self-supporting 501c3, correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's why we talk about the need for the financial stability and the need to be self-sufficient in a lot of ways. Because if you can control your own destiny, then everything that we do, we feed back into the clients. So it's all for the betterment of the clients.
Yeah. And do you use volunteers?
We do use volunteers. We actually got a couple of volunteers through SureCan.
Good.
We have, we've started, one of the things, we've gone through the strategic planning process this past year. And one of the things that we've evaluated ourselves, not the highest on, is we're very good at training for the work piece of the equation to have them, have the individuals enter the workforce. The life skills side of it, we really have not done that good of a job. We've made a firm commitment that this year we are going to begin the life skills side of it, which includes everything from how to interview for a job, oral hygiene, how to dress for success, all of those components that make up the individual and their ability to go out and get a job. We are now addressing those as well as the business and the actual functioning of the workforce.
And there could be folks out there, and could be people watching who would have some skills that they could contribute to help teach those skills.
Would love it.
Coach or
absolutely. We had a guy walk in the other day and say, "Listen, I'm closing my business. Could you guys use an embroidery machine?" Well, we thought it was a little embroidery machine. It was a 6-head embroidery machine, and he was willing to come in and show us how to operate the machine. And
that's that embroidery machine you and I talked about
yes,
at one time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So,
yeah.
Because last time I visited, you've got a lady running that department. She must have been ecstatic.
It was like Christmas and birthday all rolled into one. So very excited.
Because she was ready to apply for a grant from the Community Foundation to get you one.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
But, well, that's great. I'm glad if there's anything else in terms of getting that up and running that we can help with.
We're thinking about it. Oh yeah.
So, because she had done a project where they were doing like shopping bags or something. Yeah,
we actually have an industrial sewing area where we have a partnership with BISM, Blind Industry Services, and we're taking their overflow, and actually we made the Publix warehouse bags.
That's what she was making when I was
Publix warehouse bags, and we were supplying 10,000 of those bags a month. So it was good work.
And I had a chance to be there with some of your clients, and I mean they were really, really excited about the level of production they were doing with.
Yeah, they've set since I was there, since I joined the organization, they've set and broke 3 records for the amount of bags they can make in a day. And it's amazing when you look at the quality of the bag and little things that you don't, when they're told that it's very important that the inside label on that corner be in a certain spot and it look a certain way, you can count on the fact that it will be there. That's
great. Well, Jack, I hope if nothing else, I know from time to time you have open houses and that sort of thing. If our viewers, if nothing else, we pick their curiosity and that they pay a visit to Lower Shore Enterprises sometime. I think it would be enlightening for them.
Absolutely, they're invited. No, we can't fit everybody in on Hot Dog Day, but if they give us a call, we'll see what we can do. We can certainly give them.
Hot Dog Day is certainly an experience.
If you can survive a Hot Dog Day, you'll be hooked.
Yeah, it really is. So, I've had obviously a chance to experience several of your of the things you've done down there in your open houses and Hot Dog Day and what have you, and I'm just always struck by the enthusiasm of your clients and the excitement about life that you give to folks who otherwise might live a very sheltered existence.
Yes, yeah, and I will tell you that I have the most wonderful staff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a businessman. I've been a businessman all my life. Although now I'm experiencing something I think a little bit different.
You're getting a little soft.
A little soft. I'm getting a little soft. But I'll tell you, the staff that we have and the clinicians we have inside are phenomenal people. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't for them, Lower Shore would not be what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But Jack, I commend you for what you have brought to Lower Shore, because it's something, we work with nonprofit organizations throughout the area, and one of the things we always have to remind folks is, first and foremost, it's a business that they're running.
Yeah, I've always said the favorite saying is that the 501 nonprofit is only an IRS designation.
That's right.
One of the first things I told the staff was, the more money we can make, the more we can invest into the individuals that we serve.
That's right. The only difference is what you do with the money in the end.
Instead of a shareholder, the piece of it goes back to the clients.
That's right. That's right. So, well, Jack, we're certainly I appreciate you coming in and visiting today, and we're certainly glad to have you running Lower Shore Enterprises. I've appreciated getting to know you over the last year and a half, and be able to help in the small way that we have from the Community Foundation.
Well, we appreciate the opportunity and your help. You've been a tremendous help, not just in the foreground, but also behind the scenes. So we appreciate it.
Well, great. Well,
thank you.
We wish you the best. And you're watching Community Foundation Spotlight. My guest today has been Jack Heath, and Jack is the Executive Director of the Lower Shore Enterprises. If you're not familiar with Lower Shore Enterprises, find out about them. I'm sure we will have shown your website address on the screen. Go on the website, call Jack, pay a visit. It's a real asset to our community to have organizations like Lower Shore Enterprises here in Salisbury. And thank you for watching Community Foundation Spotlight here on Pac14.
Would you like to see your community organization or nonprofit group featured on Pac14? To get started, contact us at 410-677-5014 or visit our website at www.pac14.org. Pac14 is a great way to connect with your community.
If you're curious as to how you can help with organizations like Lower Shore Enterprises or the other wonderful full spectrum of nonprofit organizations we have here in the community, learn how you can volunteer. Volunteers make a real difference at Lower Shore Enterprises, and they make a difference across our community. Community Foundation sponsors the ShoreCan, that's SHORECAN Volunteer Center, and go on our website, www.shorecan.org, and find out how you can volunteer, how you can put your energy to work, improving the quality of life here in our community.